Hi, welcome to The Writing Engineer. Recently, my kids were watching an episode of The Electric Company. In it, the main character, let's call him Matt, was complaining to his friend, we'll call her Susan, that he had to write a story for English class and had no idea how to continue on. Well, Susan was giving him lots of good ideas. And Matt turns to her and he says, "All those ideas are really fantastic, but I have to write a story in the refrigerator." Instantly, my mind went to work, and I told my son that if I had to write that story, I would write a story about the cheese secretly marshalling the pepperoni forces to mount an offensive against the peaceful vegetable drawer, and that the kale would mount a counteroffensive, making sure to take out the mayonnaise and the mustard so that the lunch meats couldn't mount their most devastating submarine attack. There was dead silence in the room for a few seconds, and I thought I had gone a little too far. Then my son turns to me and he says, "Dad, I love your story ideas. You have the same sense of humor I do." Today on The Writing Engineer, let loose your creative weirdness. This is not the first time that someone has remarked on my seemingly uncanny ability to come up with strange and engaging stories using most mundane everyday things. I sat down and I tried to think, how do I come up with this stuff? And I think that I have the answer. It's 42. And for those of you who don't get that, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's no other way to explain it. Seriously though, I think I do know how I come up with this stuff. Let's take something mundane. This is a tissue box. What do we do with tissues? That's right. We blow our nose into them. So, what could possibly make tissues interesting? Well, how about we make a story about a supervillain whose idea to conquer the world involves contaminating the world's tissue supply with mind control whatevers, drugs, nanobots, little microbes, you name it. Why did I jump to that? Well, we put tissues on our faces, right near several entries into the body. Well, your brain is also right next to your sinuses. So what better way to get a person under your mind control whatever than going in through the nose, which is about the closest thing that you can get to the human brain. Okay, you ask. But how did you come up with that idea? Let's just take it step by step, shall we? First, what makes a good and engaging story? Conflict. Someone wants something really, really bad, and they'll do anything to get it, by any means necessary. The Emperor wants to control the galaxy. The evil wizard wants to control the world. The monster wants to destroy. And someone is always misunderstood. But here's the thing. There is arguably only one real story in the world. The hero's journey. The hero's journey is told in many and varying different ways, with many possible different outcomes. But the crux of it is that some person gets caught up in a plot and they have to fight to survive. They win by overcoming both the obstacles set before them by the antagonist and their own personal inner obstacles. It's in every story ever, from Star Wars to WALL-E, from Resident Evil to The Lady and the Tramp. There are a few exceptions that do not fit this mold very well. One comes to mind. It's a book called The Chocolate War. And I don't mind telling you, I absolutely hated that story. But I digress. The way that I get a story out of almost anything is to first and foremost, relax. Sometimes the ideas will just come to you. If they don't, I sometimes feel that it helps to think of everything as being alive. Rocks, sticks, sand, fire, cheese, and in addition to plants and animals. And if it's alive, then it wants something. And if it wants something, then you have a story. And you really shouldn't be bothered if the story sounds strange or weird. Some very successful authors have made extremely good livings by telling weird and strange stories. Well, that's all for today. I hope you liked today's content. If you do, please click the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. If you'd like to be notified immediately when my next video comes out, please click the notification bell. Thanks a lot and have a good evening.